Hey everybody, how you doing? Mikey's back. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Anyway, today I'm trying something completely different. Completely different. Today I am trying Pixotine. What is Pixotine? Pixotine are flavored nicotine infused toothpicks. Yeah, toothpicks. Now I'm not going to do an individual review on each one because that would be a bit redundant. But you get approximately, how many are in here? Probably a dozen or so. Yeah, probably a dozen. It doesn't specifically say. The ingredients are nicotine, vegetable glycerin, natural and artificial flavors. And nicotine, vegetable glycerin, artificial flavors, and nicotine, vegetable glycerin, natural and artificial flavors. So yeah, you have nicotine toothpicks. I got 3 flavors here. I have winter ice, which is like a wintergreen menthol mix. Not bad. They have cinnamon. If you've ever had a cinnamon toothpick, you know what these are. Cinnamon toothpicks. And they have tobacco flavor. These actually have a bit of tobacco flavor to them. Kind of like a, not necessarily dark fire tobacco, but just a general cured tobacco flavor. So, anyway, for the sake of argument here, let me go with the winter ice. Come in a very thin. These are made in the USA, and each toothpick has approximately 3 milligrams of nicotine for the entire pick. Now, the entire pick is not going to be in your mouth at any given time, so you will be getting less than 3 milligrams of nicotine from these. Nice thing about these is that they're extremely stealthy. I mean, very thin, fit in your pocket pretty much anywhere. Pull one of these bad boys out. These are nice, big, thick toothpicks. Hefty size, they got a bit of girth to them. Like a jumbo pick, I would call them. But essentially, that's it. You want to be stealthy? How many times do you see people walking around with a toothpick in their mouth? Quite a bit. You're going to be walking around town, at a concert, anywhere. Have a toothpick in your mouth. No one will give you a second thought. And you're enjoying a little bit of nicotine and some flavor. This is the winter ice. Getting some wintergreen and a nice cooling sensation, which I'm going to assume is from probably like menthol. Not much to say with these. It's a toothpick. Toothpick. You can use it as a toothpick. Or you can just walk around with it hanging in your mouth. Enjoying some flavor. Enjoying a little bit of nicotine. No one's the wiser. They just think you like toothpicks. Pretty ingenious in their presentation, their design. Presentation is pretty good too. I mean, nice thin packaging. There are a couple of companies that make these now. This is just the one I went with. I forget how much these cost. They weren't dirt cheap, but they're not outrageously expensive. I think in the general price range of a can of nicotine pouches. You know, just a few bucks. But yeah, all in all, they're not bad. On the back here, underage sale prohibited. Nicotine is an extremely toxic and addictive substance. Do not use if you are pregnant, nursing, allergic to nicotine or any other listed ingredient. Or have cardiovascular disease, heart problems, high blood pressure, or psychological disorders. Really? Pixotine does not market or intended its products to be used or sold as a smoking therapy. Pixotine is not intended to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Toothpicks are choking hazards. Keep away from eyes and keep out of the reach of children and pets. Yeah, these guys are based in Jupiter, Florida, and sale is only allowed in the United States. So yeah, don't choke on them. Don't feed them to your pets. Don't let your kids get hold of them. Basically treat them the way you do any other nicotine product. Yeah. We're all reasonable adults here. Let's be reasonable adults. Now, how long does it take to get all this nicotine out of these things? I don't have a clue. I don't know. From my experience with these, the flavor, I can get good 10, 15 minutes flavor, switch the side. So, I noticed with the cinnamon one, I get a little bit of burning in the corner of my mouth. The cinnamon does give you a little bit of that corner of the lip kind of burn. You can get a bit of that from these. And the tobacco one, it gets a little bit of burn too. Surprisingly, this wintergreen one, no, it does not. I don't know why. You would think that the wintergreen and the menthol would maybe give you a little burn on the sensitive corner of your mouth, but nope. But the cinnamon definitely does. If you've ever had the cinnamon picks, that little cinnamon toothpick burn from the non-nicotine variety, yeah, same thing applies here. But anyway, interesting product. It's about as stealthy as you can get aside from a nicotine pouch. But yeah, you're just walking around town with a toothpick in your mouth. You're not getting a whole lot of nicotine, but you might get enough to curb any cravings you might be having. Or you can just use these as regular toothpicks and get a double benefit from them. That's up to you. Anyway, this has been Pixotine. Cinnamon, tobacco, and winter ice. There you go. Interesting concept, interesting product. Not much more to say. They're flavored toothpicks with some nicotine. Who'd have thought? You can put nicotine in anything. I'm waiting for them to come out with like nicotine infused ketchup. Yeah. Someone's bound to come up with that product. I mean, they make edibles for the weed people. Why don't they make edibles for the nicotine people? Pretty soon you're going to have to go to a weed shop to buy nicotine. At least in my state, the way they're going, it's driving me nuts. They were going to ban flavors completely in Oregon. And they moved from, oh, no, let's not do that. They will only be allowed for sale in state-controlled facilities, which means liquor stores and weed dispensaries. So if you're going to want tobacco, you got to go to a liquor store or a weed dispensary. Well, if you want flavored tobacco, which means almost all forms of dip, with the exception of natural. Yeah, you'll be able to get natural flavored stuff, or, it was natural, and I believe cannabis flavored stuff. They can sell that, but flavor? No. You have to go to a liquor store or a weed shop to pick that stuff up, and that's going to kick in July of next year. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Because most of the liquor stores around here, they don't carry squat for flavor varieties. They carry the basics. Kodiak, Grizzly, Wintergreen, carry Copenhagen. If you're lucky, you might find one that carries Skoal, and occasionally some of them will carry Cougar. I've only seen one liquor store that carries Stokers in my area, and all of the Stokers on their shelves is at least a year old. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. I'm going to have to do some dip road trips a little more frequently. But anyway, nicotine infused toothpicks. Enough said. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Be sure to check out my other videos, various products. I even have some tobacco toothpaste. It's in there somewhere. That's a very interesting review. One I do not care to repeat ever again. Yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you all later with another dip, chew, snooze, snuff, or alternate product review. Till next time, you all take care of yourselves. Catch you later. Bye.